everybody. We're here late, 15 minutes. So, had a little technical issues, but we're here. How's everybody
We
doing?
are. Top of the morning, evening. That's evening.
Top of the evening to you.
Yeah, it's evening, top of the evening. We're gonna do a St. Patrick's special since St. Patrick's Day is on Tuesday.
Now, what's the Irish toast?
Irish toast. What is
Is
Irish
the
toast?
cilantro, something like that.
Cilantro?
Cilantro, cilantro.
I haven't seen that one.
Oh,
Cilantro.
it's sort of like cilantro, but not
Oh, is it
Cilan-
sweet? Is it?
cilantro,
Never heard that one.
cilantro.
So
Yeah,
y'all got any big plans for St. Patrick's Day?
we're cooking.
And what
Wow.
pray tell are you cooking?
Well, we have a lovely brisket brining waiting to get
You're
cooked up.
doing one from scratch then.
Yeah, yeah. Brian, Doc pulled a skip, and Doug shared recipes on our show that is currently playing until till through tomorrow. Well, till tomorrow at 7 when we switch the show over to the new show. But yeah. So we're gonna be having. Doug wants to do Rubens. I wanted corned beef dinner, the boiled dinner, but I guess we're doing Rubens.
Well, you still have to do the brisket. Now you know the key to doing the ultimate brisket is boil it
Yes.
long, and the fat will just slide right off when it's been boiled long enough. It'll become very, very tender. Take it off, set it on your platter, let it cool.
Yeah.
Slide that fat off, let it firm up a little bit, slice it down. Oh, Reubens are fantastic.
Yeah.
I have a pizza place that I go to, have been going to for like the last, I don't know, 10, 12 years. It's like going to a Denny's or a Shoney's. It's a chain, establishment.
Sure.
And well, they kind of like me, so I have been known to take my own ingredients in, i.e., sauerkraut, pickles,
Oh, you make
uh,
a Reuben pizza.
yeah, Swiss cheese.
Oh,
It's simple. You take the pizza dough. I like it thin and crunchy. So you take a thin skin, hit it with either olive oil or garlic butter. I prefer garlic butter. Then you put a layer of pickles down. Then your meat. Then a layer of sauerkraut. Then your Swiss cheese. Run it through the oven. When it comes out, put Thousand Island on top of it. Kind of like
yeah,
dunking the wedges in.
yeah.
Thousand baby, and you have yourself a Reuben pizza. It's phenomenal.
Oh, I may have to try to talk Doug into that. That sounds really good.
Yeah, that
That's the
sounds.
advantage to being a short little round sucker that I am. I tend to play in the kitchen.
Uh-huh. Good for you. Well, we like to do that. Jamie, what do you like to do for St. Patrick's Day?
Um, I stay at home for sure.
It's safer. It's safer.
Yes, it's safer. It is much safer. We basically I cook a corned beef and cabbage.
Do you do that?
Yes.
See, now you said that you didn't like to cook. That's a project.
I've always cooked a corned beef and cabbage.
Good for you.
Just
Now you're Irish.
yeah. I'm Irish. Not much, about as much as I am Cherokee. I'm 157, but my
With
mother's
that pretty red hair, and I always figured you were quite a bit Irish.
my mother's side of the family is Irish Welsh.
Okay.
All right.
My father's side is German and Cherokee. So
Oh wow, that is a mix.
everything, yeah, yeah. It is what it is. Not much you can do about it, you know.
Well, my dad always said that we were Mediterranean Irish, which is basically we're Italian. I'll celebrate anybody's holiday though. So we're Mediterranean Irish. My dad always said.
Ah, gotcha.
Now I'm
Oh,
over on the you. Are we on Facebook tonight or YouTube?
yeah, we're on both
Okay, because I was going to say hey to anybody over on the YouTube page, and it's still showing me the flag says waiting
on
Oh,
YouTube.
on the tube of
I've
you.
got I've got it opened. Nobody's on here, but one watching me probably.
Two. It's mine says two waiting scheduled for. I typed I spelled I wrong or A. Isn't it AYE? AYE.
ay,
Oh,
IE.
ay,
Top of the
ay.
morning. Top of the evening. Evening. Because I know last time we were doing a show, Rocky and them were in the chat room.
well, Mama's in Facebook. Hey, Mama.
Mama Lee.
Yeah, she's
Mama
Oh,
Lee.
she is in
let's see.
Facebook.
Where is Book of Face? I have one of those tabs with that in it. I know I do.
Ah,
I'm so terrible. I have like 3,700 tabs open. It's really, really, really bad. Excuse me. Didn't mean to cough in everybody's ear.
yeah, very
Let's see.
complicated.
ANIT.
But as usual, everything's running so slow.
Well, that's because of streaming and not what in your household at this time of the day.
Well, actually,
Hey, there we are.
they're gone right now, so
Oh,
which is
you
why,
have the hacienda all to yourself.
yeah. So, yeah.
Casa Christopher all to yourselves.
Well, my son is here, but
Oh,
at a rate, he's gone right now, and when he's here is when it seems to go nuts on me and not let me do the streaming correctly.
well, excuse me, kids.
So, I'm assuming with the coronavirus that I know here there's usually in Savannah a really big parade down there. They color the river that goes between South Carolina and Savannah green, and they do a
Really?
huge thing down there. But with Corona, it is canceled.
Yeah, and let's see. There's a little town here by me, Erin, Tennessee, and they normally do a St. Patrick's. I mean, the whole town, Erin. I mean, obviously,
Sure.
after Ireland, and they normally do a big brouhaha for the whole weekend. And I didn't see anything in the paper about them doing anything at all this weekend. I
Wow.
was rather amazed at that. I looked, but I didn't see anything.
Yeah,
I
it's
know I had seen on here someplace. Ah, there it is. Oops, it jiggled on me. Back up.
jiggled on you.
One of the sites that I looked up prior to the start of the show was 10 surprising things you probably never knew about St. Patrick's
Yes,
Day.
I also looked at this.
I wonder if we found the same page.
Yeah, I was looking at that also. If it's the same one, and I actually haven't bookmarked. I'm
Because we,
trying.
we read 7 crazy things that happened on St. Patrick's. It's not the same list, is it?
Oh, probably not. It's
Okay.
like this one says, well, number 8 is 25 pounds of dye turned Chicago River green. Says lots of
Yeah.
cities throw quite the party on St. Patrick's Day, but nobody does it quite like Chicago. On the day of the parade at 9:15 a.m., the plumbers, a local, hop on boats and dye the Chicago River an electric green color. It's quite the sight to see, but it only takes 25 pounds of dye to turn the entire river green for a few hours. And let's see. Let me do a quick share screen because they have a picture of the river.
I've seen some bodies of water that are that color, but it's just
And
because
it's almost my
polluted.
color green. There's the picture for everybody looking. Hi everybody. There's a green river. Okay, the screen's now yours again, my dear.
Huh. Mama Lee said she didn't have any sound.
Uh
Uh-oh.
oh. I have us going on through here. Did you know that St. Patrick wasn't actually named St. Patrick?
He wasn't
His
officially.
his actual name, his real Irish name was Monwain Succat.
Yeah.
That's Succat.
Yes.
Maybe it's pronounced Succat. It sounds more
Well,
like Succat.
he's not Irish either.
Ah,
If I remember
No,
right, he was a
no,
slave.
he's Roman,
Yeah, he was a slave
right?
and evangelized his Irish captor, something like that. I can't remember
Hang
how
on, I
about that.
have that right here. Not to baptize. Let's see, is it on this page? No females. Bear with me. I'm scrolling. Didn't wear green. He did baptize a lot. Yeah, he was a slave sent over, and it's on this one.
And
Let's
then I
see, people all over the world for St. Patrick's Day wearing the green in parades.
did he escape
Parades.
and went back willingly or something? Something crazy
Here's
like that.
here's what I have. The symbol of the shamrock. St. Patrick, or Apostle of Ireland, actually started out in pagan religion. While not well, while not well, not much is known about his early life, as many of the life's details were lost to folklore. Letters from St. Patrick reveal that he was captured in Wales, Scotland, or another close area outside of Ireland, and taken to Ireland as a slave. Years later, he escaped and returned to his family, who were Romans living in Britannia, and going back to Ireland for mission work after finding a place as a cleric and then a bishop within the early Christian faith. He was born around 460, and by 600, he was already known as the patron saint of Ireland.
huh.
No, well, there we go.
A
And I
little
don't know
bit of
what he did
trivia.
with those snakes, but yeah.
Well, now here's the thing with the snakes. Another popular belief is that St. Patrick banished the snakes from Ireland. The story says that while
Yeah.
St. Patrick was fasting, snakes attacked him, so he chased all the snakes into the ocean. However, there have been a few snakes in Ireland during the post glacier period. The absence of snakes and symbolism it involves with snakes is believed to explain this story, although it could have been referring to a type of worm rather than snakes. One legend has it that Patrick sticking a walking stick into the ground while evangelizing, and it turned into a tree. That's
Yeah,
another
I heard that
story.
he ran off snakes that weren't there.
Okay. I
Well,
don't
well,
know.
I mean,
He's
it
also
was covered in ice. Snakes don't really do well in cold. I think it has something to do with them being a cold-blooded critter, and seeing how they are cold and ice, yeah, doesn't work.
Yeah, they're just sleepy. We were moving wood one winter, our wood pile, and found a snake all curled up underneath a log. And you could tell he was awake because he was looking at us, but he couldn't move because he was sleeping. I mean, he was
It was
all
too cold.
hunkered down for the winter. I don't remember what we did with him.
Probably let the cats play with them.
so. Um, as soon as my
It's my
thing
dear.
opens, I'm just having all kinds of crappy luck
Yeah,
today.
we're kind of discombobulated today.
I am. I am totally discombobulated today.
Poor
Oh my
baby.
goodness. Yeah.
Aw,
You know it's Pie Day, don't you?
I saw that.
A pie would be really good. Yeah.
Strawberry apple.
Also,
You want me
wait,
to?
no, was that yesterday that was blame someone else day, or was that
Yeah.
today?
No, that was yesterday. It was
Okay.
somebody else's
I
fault.
knew I saw blame somebody else. I'm blaming somebody else. I'm
Right.
sorry, but I'm
Hey,
blaming somebody else.
it's the Ain't You a Pit with Jamie, or Ain't You a Peach with
Ain't
Jamie in
you
the
a
Pit. Blame it
pet?
on the pit. The pit did it. It's the pit's fault.
So, do y'all know what the tradition is with wearing green.
The wearing of the green.
All I know is that the Catholics wore green and the Protestants wore orange.
Right.
Exactly.
But I don't know how they chose their team colors.
Pretty much those are team colors.
So the tradition of wearing green makes you invisible to leprechauns, which is why you get pinched when you don't wear green. Some
Okay.
people also think sporting the color will bring good luck, and they also wear it to honor their Irish ancestry. Now, according to folklore, you get pinched on it on St. Patrick's Day because if you, I mean, when you don't have the green on, because leprechauns can pinch you because they can.
Right.
Okay, so the green, like you said,
Leprechauns are mischievous.
it represents the Catholics, and the orange represents the Protestants. White
Right.
represents as early as the 17th century. St. Patrick didn't wear green though; he
No.
wore blue. The
Oh, really?
color became associated with St. Patrick's Day after it was linked to the Irish independence movement in the late 18th century. I thought
And
that
it was
was
used the
very-
flag for the bright green color. Right.
That's
right.
very interesting.
It has something to do with Ireland being called the Emerald Isle.
Isle.
Well,
Right.
no,
Because of all the green grass.
Right.
it's
Okay,
beautiful
so
and lush.
your odds of finding a four-leaf clover are about 1 in 10,000.
Oh, wowzer. Now
Well,
that I did not know.
I have a four-leaf clover that I found when I was in junior high school, and I pressed it and put it in my wallet, and I still have it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I had one, a friend of mine had found me. We laminated it. I was at one of the casinos one time and probably intoxicated and remember rubbing the thing on the machine so it would hit the lottery, hit the big money. And I believe I walked off and left it sitting there because I no longer have it.
Oh,
So do y'all know where the tradition of drinking on St. Patrick's Day comes from?
I thought it was just an Irish thing.
Well, kind
Actually,
of, sort of, but not
not.
exactly.
Well, it sort of is, but it isn't. Okay, so it was to honor St. Patrick's and the anniversary of his death. So they would throw a huge feast that it was to it was supposed to be peace between the groups. Orange, of course, being Protestants, and they don't celebrate the saint.
Right.
Huh?
I just said right. I was agreeing with you.
Okay. So, alcohol when in Christian beliefs, you're not supposed to drink and do all this stuff on
During Lent.
right. So for this one particular holiday, they lifted the law against Lent and drinking. So it has become synonymous with St. Patrick's Day.
Well, that's
And did you
interesting.
know, more trivia, that in Ireland from 1903 until 1961, the bars were all closed on St. Patrick's Day because it was a religious holiday?
Really? Wow.
Can you imagine going St. Patrick's Day without having a pint of green beer? Can you
Yeah.
imagine the folly of that now, can you?
See, now that, since, like that went back further than my recollection. So I just always thought it was a party day. And when I used to cook in Syracuse, the chef there was pure Irish and he was an alcoholic, but he gave up drinking for Lent. But
Except for St. Patty's Day.
the custom was it's okay. It's some special dispensation to be able to drink on St. Patrick's Day. And I'm like,
Exactly.
but today it's not a requirement to not drink. It's just, in fact, it's not even a requirement you give something up. It's more of a custom to
Right.
sacrifice something. In fact, a lot of families today, instead of sacrificing something, they'll do a community service. so that instead of just giving something up, they actually go do something. So the customs have changed over the years.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, you know that everybody tends to think that corned beef and cabbage is the Irish thing.
Right.
They don't eat corned beef and cabbage for St. Patrick's Day. They eat some kind of it's a corned like a bacon type of thing. It's it's something totally different. It's like it stems back to the potato fat whatever it was called. Fat,
Famine.
yeah, famine.
Uh-huh.
So it's like a some sort of a cured bacon and corn and potatoes and stuff. It's more of a
So
like
it's
a
more of a
type
vegetable
of,
soup.
Or
yeah,
a boiled dinner with ham,
huh?
like a boiled dinner with ham type thing.
Yeah, but it's a bacon is what they call it.
Okay.
So like jowls in or
The
something.
way that it's cured, it's some special way that it's cured. It's yeah, they don't eat corned beef and
That's
cabbage.
interesting. So, I'd be curious to know because we had some friends from England, and
Mm-hmm.
to them, now they would talk about having bacon sandwiches.
Mm-hmm.
And then what I realized what they called bacon sandwiches was just ham.
Yeah, it's
Right.
more like prosciutto.
Yeah, yeah. But maybe it was probably cured differently than the ham we're used to.
Right. Yeah, because
Like
ours isn't.
Canadian
We're used to
bacon
having it smoked. Right.
kind of thing.
I thought it was interesting though.
Yeah. Yeah, corned beef isn't even Irish, actually, I've heard. But I'm happy to eat it, whatever the custom is. I'm happy to celebrate anybody's holiday. I'm not proud. You're right. Haha, ding.
Exactly.
You were the one that was snacking on it.
I don't know. I mean, I've just around the U.S. The traditions and everything have always just been everybody go drink, get trashed type of thing, and most people don't even know why they're celebrating it.
Yeah, it's
My
just like,
family's always had a big St. Patrick's Day party with music, and friends and family would come over and have corned beef and cabbage and sandwiches, and everybody brings dishes. It's a big, potluck dinner.
Right.
It's a hell of a
I
party,
did get
and you
one
just
the
happen
other
to get
day.
hammered.
The other day on my nightmare run to the grocery store, but I did forget the cabbage, and I was in line already when I realized that I had forgotten the cabbage. And I
uh,
looked
Oh,
around at all the people around me, and I said, "No, I'm not getting out of line for a cabbage." So we're
yeah,
actually going to have a corned beef and cabbage. I mean, corned beef without the cabbage and red potatoes. I did get a bag of red potatoes
yeah,
and some carrots, and that is just gonna have to suffice because I was
yeah, I need to
not.
get cabbage myself.
Yeah.
I'm the same.
So
I have
unless
carrots because
uh,
I bought a bag of carrots today
you
while
went,
I was up
you
there.
dared go to the store.
I was in the store this morning. I went
Oh
early.
gosh, here it's crazy. It's completely ridiculous. I mean, seriously, I was in a line. There were lines going down aisles. There were there were two line. The self service line was going down an aisle, and the very first line was going down an aisle, and the ones in between were all kind of side by side going out to the side.
Doug was at Walmart this afternoon after he got out of work, and it wasn't so much the crowds. He must have missed the crowds, but the aisles and aisles of empty stuff. You know, like literally, there was no paper products of any sort. Like it was crazy. Like even more than food, like paper, like napkins,
Hmm.
paper plates, tissues, paper towels, toilet paper, all the paper products were gone. It's like crazy.
Same here. I took
Yeah,
I
that's how
took
our local store was. Totally out of ass wipes. None. All gone.
I
They
took
still had paper
I've met
towels.
a few of them in my life. Oh, that's not what you meant. I'm sorry. I'm,
the Yeah, I let's see the lunch meats and anything that had to do like little snack things that you could get with cheese and sandwich
Oh
meat.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
those
all
lunchable
that,
things.
yes, all of that was gone. The lunch meats were down to next to nothing.
Oh goodness.
The butcher, the little butcher section where they actually cut the meat and all that kind of stuff was closed. There was no toilet paper on the toilet paper aisle. There was no milk, and I don't even drink regular milk. I drink almond milk. There
Mhm.
was nothing. I mean, I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
Now, see here locally, the only thing we were missing was the TP. There were still paper towels.
Oh,
Everything else
that's
was still there. All the lunch meat was still there. Everything we were still. But I mean, Guthrie, there's only like 1,200 people here in town, and
Well,
right next door to it used to be Piggly Wiggly, now it's Food Giant. But right next door to Food Giant is the generally not a dollar store or Dollar General store,
Dollar
whatever you want
General,
to call
right?
it, because everything in there is generally not a dollar for
Right.
certain.
That's right.
exactly.
And I stopped in there just for grins and giggles, and their paper products were there were maybe 5 packs of paper towels left, but the whole back of the store where all their paper products are just shelves.
And that's what I don't understand is what's the deal with the toilet paper? Because this Corona thing is all upper.
Yeah, it
It's a
doesn't give you
respiratory.
diarrhea. I mean, what the hell? Uh oh, huff.
The hell? I know, right?
Yeah.
All sinuses.
Now our Wegmans had limits on some things. Like we just needed eggs, so I told Doug, see if they've got any eggs. So I think they were letting you get 2 dozen, but
Yeah.
so it was like 4 packages of frozen vegetables. You could limit of 2 dozen eggs. There
Oh
was a limit
goodness.
on the milk. There was a limit on a bunch of things. A limit on 2 packages of any kind of meat that was left. So it's like, come on, people, leave some for the next guy.
I realized today that I have 2 rolls of toilet paper left, and
Oh no. So
but,
everybody send Jamie some toilet paper.
You
oh,
better go hit up Venezuela, darling, because you're in a herd of world.
but I don't know. I mean, I may stammer up enough to decide to try it again. But if I do this time, I'm gonna call and find out when the toilet paper's coming in. And
Yeah, they've got to get more in.
We
yeah,
can always try the 3 seashell thing. We've seen that. What did Sandra Bullock that did the 3 seashells?
Please.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I didn't even notice if there were Kleenexes. I did see a couple of rolls of paper towels, but yeah.
Well, no, see, paper towels, you're not really supposed to be flushing paper towels. They're a little bit stouter
Hey, you
than
can't flush any
TP, and they
alternative.
will clog up your drains.
You're not
So, I
even
mean,
supposed
flush
to
all the paper
flush.
towels you want.
You're not even supposed to flush Kleenex.
At this point, I will probably be taking showers.
There you go. Well, that's what El Jefe said to do.
That's
If you
what
didn't
they
have
suggested,
toilet
yeah.
paper, hop in the shower.
You got a garden hose, don't you?
Yeah, my showers work just as good. I just, I just can't believe some of these people. They're idiots. You know, they're greedy and they're idiots.
Yeah.
They're
I,
funny.
when my,
I can't believe what people are hoarding things that are like, okay, even if you are locked down in your house, doesn't everybody? I haven't bought, I haven't purchased any rolls of paper towels or any packs of TP in probably a month, and I've still
That's
got
me.
what 3 or 4
That's
bundles
me.
in there.
And
yeah,
I literally, I mean, I have 4 people living in my house, and I buy like a 12 pack, and it
And they're
usually
gone in
lasts
about a
us.
week.
No, it usually lasts us a couple of weeks to 3 weeks. Hence, that it's been about that long since I bought any, and now we're almost out, and everybody's got it hoarded up at their house. So,
Hit eBay. I think it's only $8 a roll.
oh yeah,
oh, that's just wrong. That's
At
wrong.
$2 a square, I'm not really sure how they're rationing it.
All I got to say is, I hope these people are going to enjoy all that toilet paper that they have left over after all this crap is
Oh,
over
this
with.
is over. Yeah. I remember when
And
I was little, my mom used to work the voting booths in our little town. And
okay,
it was, where the voting was in an old town barn. And it literally was virtually a barn. And it still had an outhouse. It did not have indoor plumbing yet.
oh
And
goodness,
I had never used an outhouse before. And I was up there, like, I was like, I think it was like before kindergarten. So I was very little, but this is very vivid in my memory. There was
good thing you
literally a
didn't cut
catalog
in.
in there. It was like a Sears catalog. And I wouldn't go. I wouldn't go in there. It was like there were spiders in there. I'm not going in.
When I was a little girl, my grandparents lived on the top of the Ozark Mountains, and we went there every year for our 2 week. My dad got 2 weeks for vacation. We would spend 2 weeks in Arkansas, and there was an outhouse, and my dad loved that outhouse. And now, when I was little, there was no running water. We literally went to the well and pulled, brought a big thing of water in with a ladle. And, um, you know, I think I was probably about 10 when they got running water in the house. But my grandma made sure that I had, it's like a little pot with a lid on it.
Uh
And
huh.
that's what I,
Chamber
that
pot,
was my potty. It's like a ceramic,
a chamber
portable.
pot.
Yeah, and that was what I would use. I did try to use the outhouse one time, and I swear I felt spiders crawling across my butt. And
Oh, I know.
no,
The things you imagine down in that hole.
no.
Oh, I've got a latrine story. We were camping in the Adirondacks, and these were decent latrines, actually. They were, it was a nice, it was a nice wooden building with cement floors, but it was a latrine. And you could tell there was like this family, you could tell they were from the city, and
Oh God,
they were of color. And so, these kids came in at the same time, and I was in a stall, and there was like three kids in the stall next to me, and one of them goes, "That's a shit pit down there. Look at that, that's a shit pit." And I'm like, "Oh my goodness." But they'd never
that's
seen
funny.
one before. They've always had running water. Never been camping before.
Oh God,
No, it's
It's
funny.
a,
My grandparents did get water run to the house. The bathtub. I remember this too. It was so funny. The bathtub was a claw tub. One of those you had
Claude, yeah,
claws
cast
on.
iron.
And I remember everybody took razor blades and scraped the inside out because they found it somewhere and they cleaned it up so that we could use it for the house. But somebody had poured paint in it, so they
oh, well,
razor blade and they got all the paint out of it and then ceramiced it or coated it or
Reglazed it.
whatever.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what we use. But oh god, the memories of that outhouse just. Yeah, I have a
An,
phobia now
an
against
old bear
outhouse.
claw bathtub. Those
Yeah.
things are
I
worth a
wanted
dollar
that
three
tub.
ninety eight nowadays.
When they died, I literally told my parents I wanted that tub, and yeah, didn't get it.
Oh,
Poor
footed
thing.
tubs are so cool, but no shower.
I know, but it would have been nice to
Oh
have.
yeah.
Even if I put it in the backyard and filled it up with dirt and made a flower pot out of it.
There you go. You did do that.
No, I
Is that
said,
iced tea or
Oh,
Jameson's you're hitting?
huh?
Is
it
that
might be.
iced tea or Jameson's?
No, no, it's water with a little flavoring in it.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You hit again. It's like,
So
is that whiskey? Piso, piso.
I'm being a good girl.
so
Saving up
what's
for
leprechaun
MojoCon, huh?
drinking? What's leprechaun drinking tonight?
Grape juice. Some old grape juice with a shot of cranberry juice in it.
Old grape juice. You're funny.
Yeah, it's been sitting around a while,
The
old
shot
stuff.
of cranberry juice got me.
The what?
When you said shot, I thought you had added something to it, and I realized that, yeah, you
I
were just.
did cranberry juice.
Yeah, but to your old grape juice, it's like, what proof is it?
Well, I
Oh, it's
went to go
low.
make me
Probably
a cup of
only
coffee. I went,
18% by volume or something.
Yeah.
It's that Arbor Mist.
went to make me a cup of the chocolate covered strawberries, but yeah, I decided I was just gonna do this instead. It was easier at the time.
Well,
Next
I'm
time,
just
Cody.
Okay.
drinking tea out of my Shamrock mug, so yeah, I didn't grab alcohol either.
Oh,
Anything
well,
interesting
it's the evening. Alcohol always goes good in the evening.
Yeah.
Anybody anything interesting or you know?
What was that?
I said, has anybody heard anything interesting in the news or anything?
Actually, I haven't watched the news all weekend. I mean, I caught local just to see what the weather's going to be. But rain, gee, I look out the window and go, rain.
Rain.
So they didn't tell me anything new that I didn't already know was going to transpire.
It's nice and sunny here.
Well, Doug always lets me know what's going. He hears the buzz out and around when he's driving or when he's at work. And last night, well, he Ubered last night, and actually he's Ubering tonight as well, because these may be the last 2 or 3 nights where he's going to make any money at all. Because Cornell, during the week, had said everyone's got to get out in 2 weeks. So the kids
Cornell
are
as in
making
university.
Cornell University here in Ithaca. And so the kids were all making plans on, seeing each other one last time and having, a couple weeks to wrap things up and that sort of thing. And then Friday, they announced everybody has to leave in 2 days. So they had till Sunday to get out of Dodge.
Yep.
And so the kids, like, so last night, I mean, the kids had just gotten the news and Doug Ubering, I mean, kids were crying as he was taking them to and fro. And, because they had 2 days to see their friends. The
Hmm.
seniors are not getting a graduation, no prom, no parties, no celebration, no, the kids that did well, there's
Oh, so
no
in other words,
recognition.
these young adults have to experience life.
Yeah, well, and to a degree, I'm thinking this is a good thing because these kids have probably never seen anything really bad in their lives.
Well,
But
they're not seeing anything bad now except overreaction.
exactly, but the really the fallout is, I mean, not everybody that goes to Cornell has money, so they're buying plane tickets on the spur of the moment. Um, Maybe they don't have the money, or maybe even the parents are of modest means, so they got to figure out a place to stay, a place to stick their stuff. So they've got to figure life out on the fly right now.
Yeah, that's.
And to a degree, I feel kind of bad for them. I wouldn't want to have to do that.
Didn't we have to do that when we were their age?
Boy, I don't know if I ever was given 2 days notice to pack your shit and get out. I don't think I've ever had that happen to me. I did that to somebody, but I never had it happen to me.
Here, as far as our public schools, they decided to cancel school as of starting Monday, which they made this notice on Thursday, which kind of cracked me up. Is okay, why are you canceling school on Monday? If it's such an urgent need to cancel school, shouldn't you be canceling it now?
Yeah,
What's the difference?
yeah.
None
I
really.
don't
I
know.
don't. There's nothing going on in the first place.
Knee
They're
jerk,
canceling everything.
impulsive. You know, who knows? Really, literally, who knows? You know, but
I kind of think along the lines of Sean. I think they're just preparing for martial law. This is just,
Probably.
yes, we are being
their,
conditioned
their
to
baby
obey.
steps to see if
Well,
we can
well,
get
my
away with
favorite thing.
saying you
Yes,
can't leave this area, you can't leave your house,
yep,
you can't. Well, yeah,
My favorite
and
thing is it's like this is giving us a sample of how socialism's going to be.
yeah. But
exactly.
if the people wake up that the,
I'll wake up. They're stupid.
The sheeple
yeah,
won't. The sheeple that are still out there, the Bernie fans think socialism is the
Exactly.
neatest thing going. The give me's because I don't want to have to do. Yeah, no,
yeah,
not gonna work.
So I thought this was pretty interesting, talking about the price gouging and the buying everything up. Uh, this guy, he's apparently an Amazon merchant, has 17,700 bottles of hand sanitizer and has nowhere to sell it now because apparently Amazon cracked down on the price gouging for the coronavirus stuff. So this guy's stuck with a whole bunch of hand sanitizer.
he can't
Oh
sell
well.
it at all.
I guess he could sell it for the regular price, but they're not letting him up the
Oh,
price.
yeah, his intention was to price gouge. What a
Well, of
Exactly.
shithead.
course.
Well,
I like the guy that bought all the plungers because with all these people throwing all them paper towels down their crackers, the dude with the plungers is going to make a fortune.
oh, that's funny. That's thinking ahead.
Yep, that was pretty funny. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, people are going nuts over this, and yeah, it's no worse. From what I understand, the deaths have been people who were already compromised. They
Yeah.
have a weak, uh, you know,
Immune system.
immune system, and
Mm.
it's harder to heal when you have something like that. And they say the average person that it's more like a heavier thing of flu than it is anything, and that it takes a little longer to get over it, but you'll heal.
So that's why they're
And,
buying all the ass wipes because every time I get the stomach flu, boy, do I run.
right. But this is upper though, attack.
That's just it. So, I mean, even if your nose runs incessantly,
That's true.
there's
Yeah.
no way you could go through 40 packages of TP trying to blow your nose. No, your
There you
nose would
go.
fall off before you ever ran through all that toilet paper.
Now here's something
Unless you were
I just
using it as each roll and, inserting them sideways like a giant
yeah,
tampon.
I just thought of this. As human beings, we feel like, regardless of whether we're prepared to do anything, in a crisis, I think we naturally go to, oh dear, what do I do? And people that don't know anything else, oh, I need toilet paper and eggs and milk and bread. But instead, I am not hearing anything about how people can um, support their immune systems. Um, like do something proactive for lung health. But
Well,
nobody,
Like oregano oil.
Andu is
oregano oil, people laugh at that silver hydrosol. Doug and I nebulize silver hydrosol and frankincense oil.
I thought you looked a little blue. No.
Yeah, no, the colloidal silver doesn't turn you blue. The homemade stuff does. But
Well, just like
uh,
I'm telling everybody, and everybody keeps arguing with me about it, is that over back in the 60s and 70s, they didn't give you an antibiotic every time you had sniffles. And now,
right,
for everything that is wrong with you, oh, here, take this antibiotic, and all we're doing is killing off our good bacteria. We're not
right.
going
Exactly.
to
I
weak.
mean, no one's telling you to eat. Say, even garlic capsules can help build your immune system, or raw garlic. In fact, I heard on a news thing saying, here's a list of things that will not help you. And raw garlic was on the list. I'm like, that's
Who wrote that
yes,
list? Because they're full of it. Because garlic is good for you.
yes. And
Really
they don't want people to know that they can. I don't want to say self medicate because that has a negative
Connotation.
connotation.
well, that
Well, I
comes
guess I
out of
could go ahead and light this bowl
pharmaceuticals.
again then.
There you go.
Businesses lose money on the fact that people are turning to, neuropathic and I'm not neuropathic, naturopathic, and
Yeah.
oils, and
Homeopathic.
whatnot. I myself use oils, and I take when I feel bad, I take a couple of pills of garlic every
Yep.
day. I mean, not garlic. I'm sorry, oregano.
Okay.
Uh,
There's
that
olive leaf. There's
yeah,
actually I've got to find my oregano oil. I want to put that in my diffuser.
yeah,
Um.
exactly.
Yeah.
And I actually heard. I forgot. It was like last week, but it was something in one of the stories about the coronavirus that oregano was one of the best things to take for it.
Yeah. But they don't want you to know that because if they're training, like this is kind of tags along on what Sean said. If they are training you to obey in an emergency situation, they do not want you to think for yourself and heal yourself, or maybe not heal, but at least support yourself so you might better weather this sort of thing.
I don't think you can. I mean, yeah, it will help in the healing, but it will.
Keep
It'll
you
make
from getting it in the first place.
yeah. So I don't know. Me myself, I prefer not to go buy over the counter medicine or whatnot because I mean, people don't realize most of these medicines. There's always a
Come
side
from
effect.
China?
You have to take something else for that side effect, and
Right.
something for that side effect, and it's like this long list of take this to cover this and this to cover this, and
Yep.
next thing you know, you're taking 10 medicines. So I
And they
just
don't
prefer not
necessarily all react well with each other.
Yeah.
like
And one doctor will do one thing, and another doctor says, "Why did that doctor tell you to do that? Take this instead." And I was in that cycle probably 20 years ago. And
Ouch.
I had a water pill because something else I was on caused water, water retention. And then another doctor said, "Why are you on that? That won't help you with fluid in that area. Take this because," and I'm like, do you guys know what you're doing?
No,
when
And that,
actually, they don't. It's a
no.
crapshoot.
first started taking after I had my heart surgery, they had me on an anticoagulant and they had me on a cholesterol pill and
Were
then
you
they
on
had
statins?
yes, that's the cholesterol pill.
Oh my
And
God, it's so bad.
then on top of all that, they had me taking famotidine, which is a stomach medicine to protect my stomach from the
From the
pills.
statin, right? Yeah, yeah. Like
I mean,
Doug and I were both prescribed an what is it? Oh gosh, was it proton pump inhibitor for reflux?
mhm.
And
Right.
there's this little test you can do to see if you actually do have too much acid or too little acid.
Right.
And the truth of the matter is, most people have too little acid.
Mhm.
There's a whole, I don't know what the mechanics of is how that manifests as feeling acidic, but there's things you can do. And so Doug and I are taking an herbal tea that's called Cangest. It's for digestion, that
Mhm.
supporting your digestive system instead of killing your natural your too little acid.
Mhm.
Um, you take those proton pump inhibitors, you may have cancer down the road, and you're doing the opposite of what you need.
Right.
So,
Now, see,
it,
to increase acid for me, what I'll do is I'll take cider vinegar, the raw apple cider vinegar,
uh-huh,
put about an ounce and a half in a small glass, and then cut the rest of it with cold water
yeah,
and shoot that.
Can't do it. I tried. I bought the apple cider vinegar one time, and
it is rough. There's other things you can do, but that is kind of rough.
I actually
Well, you have to cut it.
I
You have
made
to
me up
dilute
a
it.
little jar of ginger and coconut, and
Ginger's good too.
and
Peppermint too.
whenever
Yeah.
my stomach's upset, I rub that on my stomach and I drink from Atlanta Red Rock ginger ale, which is pure ginger ale. It's orange, not clear like
Hmm.
Schweppes or
Like
anything.
Canada Dry or something.
Wow. So with no chemicals in it.
Well,
I'd
it's
like to try some of that.
carbonated and everything, but it burns when you drink it. It burns like your lips and whatnot. It's got
Yeah,
in it.
ginger's rugged. Yep.
So I those are my two stomach ache remedies right there.
I
So,
put about an inch, about maybe about the size of a thumb, um, piece of fresh ginger in Doug's smoothie every morning for his
mhm.
digestion.
I also have at Kroger they have sliced up candied ginger slices,
Yep.
and I have those sitting on my desk, and I'll usually eat one of those after I eat to kind of help.
Yeah. Good
Mm.
for you. You're doing some good things for yourself.
But that's the problem; most people don't, and
Yeah. And they
I
think you're
don't.
wacky and
have it and the occasional fattening food. But outside of that, it's I try to eat as healthy as I can, as natural. I try not to eat a whole lot of processed and
right.
stuff like that, but it's hard.
Didn't
It's
you just start Dr. Glidden's stuff?
I got the mineral stuff,
Have you noticed anything?
not yet.
Okay. That's
But
the one thing we didn't try yet is the
somebody was
mineral.
saying I'm looking at a couple of months of that
Sure.
before I would actually start noticing anything. So,
Yeah.
but
And
I
it
do
may,
want to go look at his website on some things like my thyroid and stuff like that because I don't take thyroid medicine anymore, and I know that I need it. My
you have a
thyroid,
thyroid? You have your thyroid
I'm hypo.
type.
I have one doctor has told me that I have Hashimoto's, which is another. I don't know exactly the difference, but it has to do with hypothyroid.
Yeah.
My grandmother had thyroid cancer, but they did do a needle biopsy a long time ago on me, and they didn't see anything. I just
That's
have
good.
huge
Yeah,
thyroid.
I got scared. I had thyroid cancer like 5 years ago, and I was addressing it naturally, and because of the way it was, I couldn't tell what I was doing was having a difference, and I couldn't afford the expensive test.
Mm-hmm.
And when they took it out, they said it had shrunk to the size of a pencil eraser.
What were you
Oh, well,
doing?
that's good.
I made them only take half it out. It hadn't affected my whole thyroid. So I still have half of one. And Dr. Glidden thinks if I do the right things, I might be able to get my half of thyroid to do the work of the whole. So I'm working on that.
Very good.
I need to go get mine checked out, but it's yeah. No,
Yeah,
actually,
Dr. Glidden has a protocol. Oh, Mike has a video actually.
yeah, he posted that, and I couldn't get it to work, and
Hmm.
yeah, so.
I think it was only available for a short time. He might post it
It
again.
was within the 24 hours, but
Okay.
I could not get it to work.
Okay. Well, that's good. You're doing what you can.
Yeah. It is what it is.
Yeah. We're not going to live forever. Just
But,
do the best you can while you're here, right?
That's
yeah.
all you can do.
Well, we got about 4 more minutes
Oh
left.
my gosh, you're kidding.
Goes by fast.
Time flies when you're having so much fun.
I know, right?
You see, we have about 4 minutes. I
But
don't know how
Kitty, you
long.
want
Did
to
you want to
take
hear
us
the daily for
to
today?
tell us about your show, Kitty?
Oh, we could. Or you want to do your daily?
Ah,
No,
You talk fast and I'll talk fast.
tell us about real food, real people.
hello. Go ahead and do the daily hello.
Well, uh,
Somebody,
um, are we going till quarter after? Or are we just doing a 45-minute show?
I'm looking at my track. So my
Okay.
track says we have 3 minutes and something left now.
Okay. Real food, real people. Pat and Holly. We love talking about food. We love cooking. We have guests occasionally. And you can hear us on Spreaker.com. It's real food, real people. There's no and in there. And it's 7 p.m. Eastern and 1 a.m. Eastern on Spoonie Radio. So there. Now,
Where does everybody find you at? The pit?
what's
Besides,
that?
Well, let's see. You can get the pit. You can find me over on Twitter, Leprechaun56. Catch me in the MeWees. You can also get your Daily Hello over in the Daily Hello on the MeWe. It's an open group, no invite necessary. So Tech Roo, as a matter of fact, is one of the better thumbs uppers for your Daily Hello. He always makes a little emoji comment of some sort. Let's see, where else can you get me? By the short hairs, but that's kind of painful. Pretty much just over on the MeWe's and in Twitter.
I see you
The
on the
two
Twitter
places.
too. That's right.
Occasionally, Mike Phillip, who is in the chat room there. Hey, Mike. Will let me fill in for Doc Glidden on a Saturday, and we'll do some rock like he does on a Friday. But mine's better because, well, it's convenient.
you did do
Ain't
a
it,
pretty
Mike?
good this past
So, Leprechaun, where can we find your pot of gold?
Mainly still in the ground. I like looking all the time. I'd like to go to Australia. They got some big old nuggets from what I've seen.
I was going to say you'd probably like to try to find it yourself, right?
Exactly. I'm always digging in the dirt. I'm going to go down and visit Jamie and play in the dirt down there around her. She's in
Oh,
a good
fun.
area.
look for some gold. So,
I find I have a jar of red Georgia clay from when we went to see Doug's family one year.
they're
Oh,
from
cool.
here? Where are they at?
Oh, they're in Rome.
Oh, okay. About 45 minutes an hour from me.
Yeah. Well, if we ever go down, we'll have to swing by your house.
Yeah, definitely. So, let's see. We have. Okay, it's fixing the music's fixing to come. So y'all know where y'all can find me and the pit. Who I'm gonna make an official announcement now. Leprechaun is gonna be my co-host on the show
Yay.
Well, thank you, dear.
as of now. So y'all can find us on Facebook, YouTube, and Spreaker. And Pure Peach. We'll see y'all next Saturday.
Keep up, y'all.
Woo! Bye.